these guys here.
Can you believe the water is only 1 degree less than Tahiti? It's amazing.
It's
for France.
amazing. One of the things we love about the southwest of France is just how warm it gets in summer. And here we go. We're kicking things off with Ariana Ochoa with a quick clip from her. And we talked about those one maneuver waves. Might see a few of them. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to be a judge in general. Just wouldn't want to be one. But I particularly wouldn't want to be one today because you got to try and decipher one kind of backhand re-entry on a sort of semi-closeout. Not easy to do. How do you do that? What are the judges looking for?
See, they're also experienced. They must know they have to adapt the surfing to the conditions. And I'm not sure today the one maneuver wave will be a big score because of the size of the waves. Even though it was a pretty nice maneuver here from Ariane, I'm quite sure you need to find a better quality wave in terms of comboing the maneuvers.
And do you think, considering the condition, I mean, we have the size of yesterday, and yesterday was obviously only rights. Are we gonna have like a multiple peaks and maybe some lefts, or does it change the lineup? The fact that the swell dropped that much?
Well, I talked with Johan and Tessa earlier today, and yes, in fact, we do have this right sandbank close to the jetty. This is going to be, I think, the main spot to stay to wait for the bombs. And then in the middle of the beach, you also can find a little left and another right. But this spot should be option without priority. So let's see how they manage those hits. But I think they're going to stick to the right side of the beach, the north part of the beach, on the right side of your screen. And then without priority, maybe try to catch a few ones in the middle.
And what about the rip? Because yesterday we saw the constant paddling of the surfer to stay in position.
As you can see right now, they're not paddling at all. Obviously, when it gets smaller, the current also goes lower. So it's a good point today. I think we're going to see some amazing action.
And Roman, you do a bit of coaching as well with a lot of our surfers we've seen in this event. When you get into semi-finals, how hard is it for surfers not to think about the win and going all the way to victory and like just really just focus on the moment? Staying in the moment right now, we'll revisit that. Here goes Ochoa with a nice little combo of turns. There's a third one, and she's on her way to a good score here. Wow. That one was nice and knifey. So finishes with a bang, and she's going to put a number up right there.
You see, you were talking about how do you manage those hits. And it looks like Anat does not manage this hit as she did yesterday. Yesterday, she went to surf in those hits. Right now, she's maybe overthinking, too picky with the wave selection instead of Ariana Ochoa that goes for broke, you know. And
check priority too
that's
then,
it.
huh?
That's it. So just surf. It's not a final yet. It's still a semi-final. So why would you change your plans? It has worked all the way through the semis in this event. And then in the final, maybe change your plan, but not in the semis.
Yeah, yesterday she was the first on the wave, first to open her scoreboard, and she's been a bit quiet. Whereas Ariane is doing just what you said earlier on, Romain, just picking the wave that's going to offer, multiple opportunity instead of one single maneuver, and that's starting to pay off.
Yeah, major error there. Had priority, did Anat Lelior, let Ariana Ochoa go, got a 6-3-3. The combination of the maneuvers on the backhand, putting up a good lead already. She's got a pretty healthy number for the previous wave as well, so a good total already locked in for Ariana. That's how you start a heat. And Anat Lelior really needs to just try and channel this energy now and put something straight back up. Don't let too much time tick away on the wrong side of a lead. Of course, at the moment it is a combination, but very early in this, and she hasn't ridden a wave yet. So let's see how she goes to putting something on the board, but a little bit over-selective thus far.
Yeah, and always tricky that first heat of the day. You know, the judges, you were talking about the judging tower earlier on, Paul, but always tricky to know how the judges will adapt their scoring at the beginning of the day with different conditions. So obviously has changed from yesterday where they were rewarding those single big turns. Today you're gonna have to change your game, change your strategy, and change your surfing.
Yeah, and yesterday we saw Anat killing a little bit the heat in the beginning and adding a lot of pressure on the shoulders of her opponent. And today, well, she's picky, and let's hope a bomb will come her way pretty soon, because it can be tough to sit for too long on your surfboard and watch your opponent surfing nice scores.
All right, here goes a paddle from Anat Lelior, and she looked a bit interested. That one might be just a little straight for her liking. She's just going to let that one go. Looks like she's going to hang on to priority there. Had a little look at that wave, but kind of paddled positionally rather than directly onto the wave. She's always kind of going a little sideways. So she's going to hang on to the priority for now, and she'll be left to think on. Roman, people are wondering, tuning in, people know obviously about Anglet, but looks like we've got a bunch of surf spots with a bunch of jetties along here, mate. Tell us about some of them. Like, we're kind of tucked away in the corner here. There's a bunch of other breaks that go all the way up. You can see that shot and all that sand. A couple of Ks of it. There's a lot of beach here.
Well, they're all quite similar. I mean, all those middle beaches from Anglet, La Chambre d'Amour, the one from we see Anat Lelior. Oh, having a little stressful moment here in this heat. But if you surf those beaches in Anglet, you have to choose between those different sandbanks, of course, because the sand moves really fast throughout the year. But they're all quite similar. But then if you move to the north part of Anglet, you have Les Cavaliers Beach, which is one known surf place for bigger waves and also hollower waves. You can find some barrels over there. The wind is also much more, the beach is much more protected from the wind over there because of the river, of Adour River, that goes out over there. And then on the other side of Les Cavaliers Beach, you have the last one, La Barre, which is a lot more protected from the swell. This is where you go when it's too big here on the main beach of Anglet. But it's a pretty fun place to surf, and as you can see, it's not that much crowded in summer. Instead of when you watch the beach in Seignos, Horsego, Cabreton, you could think, oh, Anglet is pretty crowded in summer, but maybe not that much.
A lot of great options for a day of surfing in a really cool part of the coast. So we'll take that in from above. That's exactly that picture that Roman was describing. A bunch of banks who do have these jetties, the digs that come out and just kind of break up that current flow. So generally you get a little gully next to the jetty, and then hopefully a good sandbar. Low, mid, generally speaking. It's quite rare a high tide bank in Anglet.
Yes, you mostly surf mid-tide. Mid-tide is always the best in Anglet, except when you do have those small range tides. It can be really, really fun high tide with some swell. But mostly, yes, mid-tide, low tide, and then when you go to the northern beach of Anglet, it's always low tide over there.
All right, so a concerted effort, a paddle from Ariana Ochoa, and she gets it. And a good first turn from her, almost like the momentum from the paddle put her in onto that first maneuver. Good section here too. And again, it's really nicely done. A confident start from the Basque.
Yeah, definitely taking the best of Lelior in terms of surfing, but I think also mentally, we saw on that paddle battle, she said, you know, I want that wave. Obviously, she had the priority, but she's not letting anything past her surfboard. So really a strong start for Ariane and controlling perfectly that heat.
So far, so good for Ariana Ochoa, as we're watching her really just go through the gears in this one. Started off strong, and she's just built and built from there. And she's putting real points on Anat Lelior at the moment. Let's go down and hear from Caroline Sarin, who is with Anat's sister.
Yeah, hi, hello guys. I'm here with Anat's sister. Yeah, she was surfing just behind, just a quick wave. This is Noah, Anat's sister, who's in the water. Noah, sorry, but you look like a lot. How is your sister feeling this morning?
She was feeling good. There's pressure, of course, but we're trying to just have fun, and I feel like it's her first contest back since her injury. So I think she's just trying to have fun and enjoy the moment and do her best.
Yeah, yesterday she had a pretty big day with good waves and good scores. Hopefully today she can find her way through the semifinal as well. I saw this morning you were doing a bit of training of football. Is that a little ritual you have with her?
It's a thing. I love soccer, and in Israel we do this sport quite a lot. So I feel like this warm-up is really good because it's fun and you move a lot, and it puts a smile on her face, and so it's a good warm-up.
Well, we're gonna watch her closely, and hopefully she's gonna catch her waves and find her way through the final. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Gal. Yeah, Noah Lelior, absolute ripper as well. She's been outstanding in some QS events. Still looking for a real breakthrough result, but almost like copy-colle, like just another goofy foot, super powerful, amazing maneuvers. A really, really good surfer. And part of that generational story really coming out of Israel, which has been one of the interesting stories on the European QS. Let's get another look at Anat's last wave. What happened?
Yeah, you know, get feet in the wax, nothing major. It's going to be a low scoring for Anat. Unfortunately, she's not going to really find the good section. It's comes out at the 2.5 pole. So, but I wanted to say it's already a win for Anat. She comes out of injury here again on a better looking wave. First turn, a second one needs to put a bit more energy there, but wave just disappearing in that inside. So yeah, recovering from a thigh injury. She did a lot of workout, a lot of physio. So she was really positive yesterday about, you know, making that final day, and I think she'll be happy with the result wherever she finishes here in the semi or making the final.
It looks like she was a bit stressed in the beginning of this heat, and maybe this last wave could give her some more confidence to unleash her surfing. There's still plenty of time, 18 minutes remaining, and she could be really dangerous in this second part of the heat.
She just needs to find a runner, right? That wave just kind of died there. You could see Ariane just kind of watching her and sort of willing that wave to just fizzle out a bit, which is exactly what happened. She got that second turn done and then just crumble. You compare that. Ariane's had a couple of waves that have just run and got another, and even like a third section. Get Anat Lelior on one of them, and I think we'll see some major points go up. But like you said, Roman, I think it'll feel better just to surf. The first time was done at speed, and whether in the heat or not, anytime when you're not getting many waves and then you kind of do a pretty full-blooded turn with a bit of speed in your surf, it always feels good afterwards. Just when you're paddling back out, you got a couple more clicks of energy about your paddle stroke. She'll have to go out under the priority now of Ariane and just wait her turn, but loads of time left and seems to be quite a lot of waves coming through as well. She'll ask a question here and force Ariane to go, and this wave goes a little soft from the takeoff, so a good move there from Anat's point of view. She does now take control of priority and getting down towards that halfway point in these 30-minute heats. You got to feel getting a crucial mid-range score now will be really important for her.
Yeah, definitely, and it could turn on her side right now because she has the priority, and maybe she had too many expectations of this heat earlier today. It's still pretty early. Huh?
Yeah.
It's tough to wake up and surf your best straight away in the heat. We can see on this view that she's pushing Ariane to take this wave to get the first priority. It was a smart move from Anat. Let's watch what Anat can bring in this second part of the heat, because I'm pretty sure she's going to find her confidence and she can be deadly when she surfs at her best.
Yeah, with 4.1, you know, that keeps definitely the door open for Anat to come back with, you know, we're nearly hitting the halfway mark. They gave like plenty of time for the surfer, and it's a 30-minute heat, so you know, no need to stress after 10 or 15 minutes. You got a time to reset, and it looks like Anat is just doing that. And she's gonna go on that one, trying to find that first section. Good first turn, but the wave just died down under a board, unfortunately for the Israeli.
Yeah, a little mistake from Anat on this one, and Ariane has a chance also now to add an extra pressure on her shoulders if she finds a pretty nice wave. another 6 pointers, she could add a lot of pressure on Anat's shoulders. Because right now Anat does not feel like super confident, and just by taking this wave, this was a poor quality wave. It was a big mistake at this stage of the heat.
So, got hold of the priority and then relinquished it almost straight away. And just that momentum, maybe just further going with Ariana Ochoa for the moment. Still plenty of time left to go, though. We talk about priority and how crucial it obviously is in terms of getting the wave you want, but I feel a little bit like in these kind of conditions, it's not necessarily super obvious which of these waves are going to go soft and which ones are going to run, and sometimes you kind of just got to stand up and see what happens. We mentioned that rip that goes through the wave. There's that mid part of the wave where it goes a little deep, and it's really hard to tell which ones are going to offer up point scoring maneuvers. As you mentioned at the top, Romain, just got to surf a lot, catch a lot of waves, basically. Don't be too patient.
If you don't surf, you don't make a hit. So at the end, you can find also the rhythm by catching some waves. And it's never a nice strategy to wait for too long on your surfboard.
All right, live action. Lelior, here she goes under the priority of Ochoa. Quick turn, gets a little release on the tail, and the wave will run away. And that's what she's going to need to do now. Just try and snaffle something, maybe a little down the beach. And we see that sort of wry smile quite a bit from Ariana Ochoa. It's somewhere between a grimace and a smile. She's very much focused on the task, and she's very much in this battle with good scores on the board already, and an opponent, a highly rated opponent, has been unable to get much going thus far.
Yeah, and Ariane has been eyeing from behind what Anat was doing on that wave. She probably saw that first turn and praying that the wave will close out, which it did. So she's really controlling that heat mentally, but also making sure you know, there's no big score on the board for Anat. But now she's really in control with that priority. We know basically it's gonna come down to a set wave. If a set comes by the end of that heat, it's just gonna be, you know, now a game of patience. But you know, it's the driving seat is now for Ariane.
All right, just under 12.5 minutes to go in this. Our surfer from the Basque Country, Ariana Ochoa, at the moment, very much in the lead. Our Israeli, a bit of work to do. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up our first women's semi-final. Finals day here at the Rip Curl Pro Anglet. We'll just stick with live action here. Your heat leader, a little sticky on the first turn, a small section here. I'm not sure she'll add too much to her points with that. And while judges wait to drop a number, probably won't go in the top two. We're going to get a break. We'll be right back with more live from Anglet.
Summer, we've missed you. Rip Curl.
Ce qui m'arrive, mais je fais n'importe quoi.
Ah bon?
Pourtant tu sais, le long de la semaine, je sais me tenir à carreau.
Bah j'espère bien.
Mais il suffit qu'en moi soudain revienne le grain de beauté que tu caches au creux de ton dos, pour que d'un coup je danse et chante comme un fou. Mais
Yes, that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing. Yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring. It's that time again. Don't wanna win, I'm cutting you off, cause it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing. Yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring. It's that time again.
The beach goes absolutely wild. The scene has erupted at lower trestles.
And a very warm welcome back to the beach. Le Club is the name of the spot, Rip Curl Pro Anglet. And it's finals day here in France as we conclude a very warm French summer. Saturday, traditionally today is kind of the day when everyone goes home, right, Archie?
Yeah.
School starts next week. La rentrée is next week.
Exactly, it's a good tip you're giving away there. If you want to have an uncrowded wave during the summer in France, come and surf on Saturday. You know, the rental go through Saturday to Saturday, and usually, you know, people are arriving, leaving, no time to surf. So it's, you know, you get those lineup a bit more uncrowded during the Saturdays.
A lot of people hitting the highway heading north, generally speaking. Those pair that we just saw a quick glimpse of, Yolanda Hopkins with the coach John, they've come from a long, long way south, based down there on the south side of Lisbon in Portugal. Of course, John himself, surfer from Cornwall, he spent a lot of time out in Portugal. He runs the Pig Dog Surf Camp and coaches Yolanda Hopkins. And what a career it's been for her. She'll be coming up in the next semi-final, but there's still plenty of business to be determined in this one. Ariana Ochoa has really been very impressed with the way she started strong in this one. She's never really looked back. She's just kind of backed herself, her wave selection. She's found the best waves. She's also managed mistake-free surfing, really, pretty much. And Anat Lelior has just put a little bit of pressure on herself, maybe just a couple of missed opportunities, Archie.
Yeah, and one indication we got now on screen, we got a bigger tide range growing every day. So the rip is starting to come into effect in that lineup, and that's gonna be playing into the game where Ariane is gonna make sure no one sits on her inside, but she's got priority. Choice of the queen on the first good-looking wave pole. So with 8 minutes remaining and with a bit of a slow swirl, it's on the decrease. That could be in a big advantage in the remaining minutes of that semi-final number one.
Yeah, when these big tidal rips can start to get into conditions, it's definitely, if you're the surfer with the lead, you won't mind that one bit. You've already got the points on the board. In some ways, your work is kind of done. She won't be resting on the numbers she's got right now, but it looks like a pretty healthy total. The requirement, the 6.9 for Anat, and she's got to try and find that in about 7.5 minutes. She can get a couple of waves, 2 mid-range sixes will do it. Yolanda Hopkins, who represented Portugal in the Tokyo Olympics 2021, surfed really well over there, actually. She would have been one of the sort of probably the least sort of fancied, just on paper, looking at some of the names there, and surfed so well, gave herself a ton of confidence. Didn't quite have the backing. It's great to see now with some really good sponsors as well, some stickers on her board, and she's getting some really good backing. Part of that program in Portugal, organised nationally, but also just from surf brands supporting her. And she's always a fun character to have around. We had some insights from her in the studio yesterday.
Yeah, both Anat and Yolanda were doing great on the mic. Maybe we'll see more of her today. And Ariane using her priority, more of a blocking move there to avoid Anat taking a score, but it's a bit slower, and you can see nearly on the Anat face that the scenario is not the same as yesterday. She was all smile, even on the the zooming of the camera. Yeah, yesterday it was all positive, and now it's a totally different story. The face is a bit more shut, and no smile definitely for Anat today.
Yeah, she hasn't really had a wave yet.
Yeah.
Any wave that she's taken, the most energetic part has been the takeoff, and from then it's really just fitting the turn in on a dying wave. She hasn't had a runner at all. And you do need that little kick of energy just to give you that sort of mental and physical kind of momentum. Meanwhile, from wide, having a little look, Ariana Ochoa with a little bit of a cushion. Like I said, she's not got a massive total, but 11 points just in the context of what we got so far and what we've seen will feel pretty decent as our crowd fill in. Talking of crowds, we kicked off last weekend the Caraibos Night Surf Arch. A massive support down here in Anglet. And it's great to see the fans out enjoying it this morning.
Yeah, there was a count of more than 20,000 people on the beach on that night with a great show, night surfing, similar conditions than yesterday.
Similar conditions, but it was just dark.
Yeah, just dark. And Roma surfed it and said, you know, it looked easier than what it was really. Just they couldn't see anything out the back. It was all
He'll
dark.
use any excuse, won't he, old Lole? Let's check out the recap of our first semi-final from the women. Rip Curl Pro Anglet finals day. And this woman here, Ariana Ochoa, taking on Anat Lelior. And Ariane really, Archie, she got this early on.
Just like two best scores in the first minutes, 4, 6, 7, and she followed up with the best scoring wave of the heat, a 6.33. So, and then it went pretty quiet for both surfers. There were a lot of blocking. That was again the 6.33. Still, you know, managed to find that long wave with a bit of a wall and did really well to surf it till the end. She got another a couple of turns, but most of the damage, I'd say, Paul, was done on those first 2 or 3 waves. Unfortunately for Anat Lelior, she found a couple of turns. That was a 4.1. Put her back in the heat, but since that it kept the ocean, and Anat was really quiet, unfortunately for the Israeli.
Yeah, you see that paddling going on in the rip as well. It's all part of the game.
Yeah, and Romain was saying, you know, when that rip comes into play, the right tend to flatten quicker than on the mid tide. So with that bigger tide range, the conditions here are changing not by the minute, but really quickly. So you gotta adapt from one heat to the other. It's probably not gonna be the same option, and maybe we're gonna see more of that left coming into play.
All right, under 3 minutes now. We're unchanged in terms of situation. Ariana Ochoa with the priority. And this is when it will really start to count. In these final few minutes, she'll have been practicing this in her drills as well as in the quite wealth of experiences she's got competing as well. Know exactly what to do. Final couple of minutes with priority. When you got the lead, she'll spin here. And she's found herself a bit of a lump. Decent looking wave. Ochoa, your heat leader, heading towards the final right now. Good first turn. Then a flat section, and then a stab to a nose poke. Incomplete. That'll eat up a little clock time.
Yeah, door still open for Anat Lelior with 2 minutes, but she's after a 6.9. That's a big requirement. Paul will be the best scoring of the heat, so obviously she needs to be patient, but not too much.
What do you call the little bum bag in French? Does that have a name?
La banane.
Okay, in America they call it a fanny pack. In England we call it a bum bag.
Yeah.
It's a banana.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Nope. No.
It's never too late, mate.
Yeah. Oh, comes back really trendy.
Not worried about losing your keys or your wallet or, you know.
No, it's safely.
Your moisturizer.
It's safely in your van.
Okay.
Well, it looks like the ocean is not really cooperating today with Anat, Paul, and with just over 1 minute remaining. She needs that set wave. She's looking at that watch. She's probably praying, eying the horizon, but well, maybe an opportunity there. She's got priority. No. And Ariane has been very much in control of the wave selection, mentally too. Experience playing at that level of competition, semi-finals. You gotta keep it in your mindset, be ready. It's woman on woman format, all different strategy on the finals day.
Yeah. The bright start from Ochoa looks like the payoff. Under 30 seconds now. The requirement's still with Lelior 6.9. We know she's capable of that and plenty more. Seen her post some of the big heat scores and totals consistently throughout events. Regularly going to the excellent range, but feels just energy-wise a long, long way from that. And I'm not sure we'll see another wave ridden in this one. A semi-final result, equal third, a very good, highly respectable result from her. Coming back from injury, she spent time out of the water. And she'll concede there to our first finalist. Nice moment. Ariana Ochoa will be absolutely delighted to get all the way into the final here in Anglet. And she'll find out within the next half an hour who she's going to be facing. But right now, she will be very happy indeed with a really well put together heat in all sorts of ways. In terms of the overall kind of way she used her energy, a lot of the decisions that she made, in terms of in the lineup, but also on the wave itself. And our first finalist is Ariane Ochoa from the Basque Country. Anat Lelior will bow out. We'll go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, our second women's semi-final from the Ripco Pro Anglet Finals Day in France. We'll be right back for more live action.
Ripco.
Hop, hop, hop. Hey, vous là-bas!